Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
And then he just got kind of angry and walked away and just slammed his bedroom door so much. It was so hard that it cracked the frame.
That's a big red flag. In my courtroom, it's about equity and fairness. Stop. Is that true? I don't want you to understand. I want you to overstand.
Yes, sir.
That's why they pay me the big bucks. Justice should be more than just some foreign concept. I actually want you to learn something. That's not gonna happen. Not up in here, not today. And boom goes the dynamite.
Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Mark Patterson claims the exchange student he and his wife sponsored had friends over and damaged his home.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
Mr. Patterson is suing Laura Bennett in the amount of $8,940.
All parties have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Deputy Thomas. This is an interesting situation here. After I read and considered this case, first of all, I want to make it a point to say I think it was admirable that you decided that you were going to take a student and have that student in your home. And I also value the fact that this is a program that you have and you're trying to do some good. Unfortunately, what we have in this situation is that things didn't quite turn out the way either of you had planned. We're going to start with you, sir. Prove your case.
Taking in foreign exchange students is something that has been in our family for a long time.
It's personal for you.
It's very personal for us. So, so much so that my wife was also an exchange student.
Yes.
From Spain.
And I take it that, Ms. Bennett, you've been in this line of work for some time?
Yes, I'm the owner of the Exchange Academy.
You're the owner?
Yes.
How long have you been the owner of the academy?
About 15 years.
How do you select the students?
We have a very extensive vetting process.
Yes, ma'am.
We interview their friends, their family. We interview their teachers. We get letters of recommendation. So there's a pretty extensive application
process and background check, and you're doing your due diligence to make sure
yes.
You're not dealing with anyone who may not be the appropriate fit for your particular program.
Correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Patterson, did you have an opportunity to meet this particular student prior to making the decision whether or not you wanted this person in your home? Because having the person in your home is very intimate.
Yes, it is. I did not get a chance to meet him prior. I just had a file on him.
What was his name, or what's his name?
Pierre.
Okay. Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. So everything looked good on paper before.
How was, or is Pierre?
15.
Okay, so he's 15. He gets there day one, and what are your thoughts?
Day one was great. You know, he seemed very personable. He spoke pretty good English. So we were excited.
Pierre gets here and everything's copacetic until it wasn't.
Until it wasn't, yes.
Talk to me.
So the first indication that something was not right was one night. I think he may have been here maybe about 2 weeks. We told him that it was okay for him to have some friends over, and they would hang out in his room. I didn't think anything.
And he had just met his friends because he had only been here for a couple of weeks.
Yes, yeah. But like I said, he seemed very personable, so I can understand how he would make friends very quickly.
All right.
So I said, yeah, sure, have them come over. You can hang out in the room. That's fine. So after the kids left, I happened to be, just tightening up in the room, and I noticed there was something strange in the wastebasket. So I look, and upon inspection, I see some drug paraphernalia, some rolling papers, some
for purposes of marijuana consumption?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Some vaping pens.
So did you get the sense that they were engaging in that behavior inside the home?
Yes. I mean, I had no other reason, to believe otherwise.
Did you call them on it?
Yes. So I called them over and I said, well, this is what I found in your waste paper basket in your room.
Okay.
And he became very defensive. He said, well, I don't know how it got there. You don't know what you're talking about, And then he just got kind of angry and walked away and just slammed his bedroom door so much. It was so hard that it cracked the frame.
That's a big red flag.
Yes. So, of course, I felt like I needed to let her know about this incident.
He conveyed this information to you?
He did convey the information to me.
As he did convey it to me just now?
Yes, not quite in that order. I think there were
the
a few...
essence of what he was saying to me is what he conveyed to you.
Yes, we had a conversation on the telephone.
And how did you receive that?
I couldn't believe that it was true, quite honestly, because we had done such due diligence in trying to figure out whether or not he would even be appropriate for the program.
This was an issue.
Right. When we had the conversation, I did mention to him, it is possible that he is just spreading his wings. It is the first time that he's been away from his country. It is possible. But I did not
tell
believe...
you, if I'm hosting somebody in my house
Yes.
and they crack my door frame,
Yes.
we may have to abort.
Right. I'm
mission.
not sure, though, what actually led up to that. I don't know what sort of behavior the plaintiff exhibited either.
Okay.
I don't know if he approached him in a way that maybe he reacted to negatively. It is possible.
She was very dismissive. She just thought, it's no big thing. You know, things happen. They're just kids.
Coming up on America's Court.
He would have to pay $1,250
Yes, because there is...
to have that child moved out of his home?
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program. America's Court is back with the case of Mark Patterson, who is suing Laura Bennett for negligence.
That was not your intent.
No, that was not my intent, but it is true. They are just kids. I mean, he's a 15-year-old boy for the first time in a foreign country. So, I mean, I know many students.
Jumping through all these hoops just to be with a family that we're not, what you said, 2 weeks in, all of a sudden all bets are off.
We have a very strict protocol that we follow. If it had proceeded from there.
Did it?
The plaintiff said it did.
Yes, it did.
Why did you say it like that? You said the plaintiff said it did. You don't believe that what Mr. Patterson conveyed to you in subsequent conversations actually occurred?
We do have a guidance counselor that has to meet with the student. So if there is an issue, then we are able to figure out if he needs to be pulled from that home.
What was
the guidance counselor
what
found
other
nothing.
issue? I'm going to cut you off because now I'm intrigued as to what happened after this.
Well, after this, very shortly, I started to get some emails from the school where he attends, stating that he had missed some days, several days, left early a couple of times. So as far as I know, he was at school all those days. So I was alarmed. And so what I did is that I sent an email to her, which
Yes.
I have here, copies
Yes.
of the email.
I do.
Exhibit A. All right, okay. And her response
Thank you, sir.
was not much more than the first time.
What did she say
She
exactly?
said, well, you know, he's probably still adjusting, but if you'd like, we can have a counselor talk to him. Which I said...
I see this email here from you, Mr. Patterson, to Miss Bennett, and she's talking about, she's sorry to hear about the ongoing difficulties with Pierre. Sounds like he's acting like a teenager. You recall that?
This email, yes.
Okay. Finding him a new family in the middle of the semester is a difficult process and would incur a fee. He would have to pay $1,250
Yes, because there is...
to have that child moved out of his home?
Yes, because there were 2 semesters that he was supposed to be taking, and so that was already understood that he was going to stay there. And if we could not find anybody, we would not be able to place him. So he would have to incur the cost to take care of putting him in a different place.
Was that your understanding when you entered into the agreement?
No. I just thought that, you know, he was initially going to stay for
Was there a contract signed as to the...
There was absolutely a contract. We decide if they are good for the program, and we put them in. We do the screening, we do the referencing as best as possible, and then if they are not capable of moving forward...
about this whole issue of the fact that he's
Yes.
missing school and leaving early. What was done to deal with that?
The guidance counseling.
And what did the guidance counselor do or say?
The guidance counselor had counseling sessions with Pierre, but did not find that there were any issues on the level that the plaintiff is
The
discussing.
school is calling saying the kid is not showing up to class, and when he does show up, he leaves early. The counselor says there's no issues with this kid? After the cracked door frame, after the drug paraphernalia?
That is correct.
Which I thought was ridiculous. You know, I at least expected them to say, well, you know, maybe you need to, you know, either let this kid go or, you know, just keep going at your risk. But she said everything was fine. No need for me to be concerned about anything.
Do you dispute that that's what you said, ma'am?
I don't believe that is what I said.
What did you say?
Yes, I believe that we needed to find whether or not this was in fact the case, and I did not see any evidence of this. When the guidance
The
counselor
evidence
met with
is
him,
Mr. Patterson giving you direct testimony detailing the conditions, because why is the school calling unless he's not showing up to class?
right. This kid had no previous.
We're not talking about
Experience
previous.
doing this.
Now
This is
he's
something
now
that
he's
is
here
difficult.
in the U.S. of A,
Yeah,
seemingly not appreciating the opportunity he's being given in this program, and his behavior is inconsistent with someone who's thinking, let me be on my P's and Q's because I'm not trying to mess this gig up in terms of staying here.
right.
We're seeing just the opposite, being a teenager who has teenage tendencies. But what else did you expect the Patterson family to do? Just sort
Well,
of suck
again,
it
we
up?
don't know what was going on in the home, Your Honor.
Well, I told you what was going on in the home. It's right here. It's
Well,
detailed.
Well, you're saying
ultimately-
that he's being destructive, but I don't know what Mr. Patterson is doing. I mean, obviously he
Oh,
gets very
you
annoyed.
think I'm doing something to him?
I don't know. We were not doing in-house visits.
Well, why
I mean,
not?
we vetted him as well, but
Well, if you don't know if he's doing something, why not have someone do an investigation and then say, this is what our
and that was the
results.
point of the counselor, sir.
Coming up on America's Court.
Found 20 to 25 teenagers in the house.
Yes.
There was a party and a fight.
Right.
Damage to your home was substantial. That's what the police say.
Correct.
This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program. America's Court is back with the case of Mark Patterson, who is suing Laura Bennett for negligence.
There was a final straw.
Yes. So a couple of days, actually, after I confronted her about the truancy, my wife and we went out to dinner. It was her birthday. So he wanted to stay at home. He didn't want to go. So, you know, he's 15. I didn't think anything wrong with that. You know, I've had babysitters around that same age. So he said, okay, I'm going to stay home. But I told him, under no circumstances do you allow anybody in the house. So we went out, had a great dinner, you know, it's a couple of hours, and we come back. So as I'm driving up, my neighbor intercepts me and she says, I'm sorry, Mark, there was something going on in your home. I had to call the cops. There was a lot of noise. So, you know, just be aware that something fishy was going on inside your home. So I walk in and it was like some, I don't know, that cartoon, Tasmanian Devil, just went around the house and just demolished everything on the walls. The carpet was stained, so much trash on the carpet. And then I look on the wall and there are puncture marks in the drywall. Like somebody just went and punched it.
I'm looking at this information, and I'm also reading the police report that says they were dispatched to the scene, found 20 to 25 teenagers in the house.
Exactly.
There was a party and a fight.
Right.
Damage to your home was substantial. That's what the police say.
Correct.
Coming up on America's Court.
So that night, I shot her an email and
You said, come get him.
come get him.
This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program. America's Court is back with the case of Mark Patterson, who is suing Laura Bennett for negligence.
After this situation, I take it Pierre was no longer invited to the cookout.
He was not. So that night, I shot her an email and
You said, come get him.
come get him. And she said that
With the quickness.
with the quickness, yes. But she just countered with, "Well, are you ready to pay for the fee, the early removal fee?" And I said,
Is that true? Is that true?
Not at this point.
All right.
He had already made it
So
clear that
there's
he was not
damage
going
to this man's home. You have seen this information. You received a copy of the complaint and the breakdown of costs. He's already having to pay this money after you were put on notice. What were you expecting him to do?
He did not pay it. He did not end up paying it.
Okay.
And ultimately, when we made this agreement for him to host, it was understood that he was going to handle any sort of disciplinary action that would happen in his home. Any rules that were in his home were his own. That was for him to do. I am the person who places the people, I vet them, and I put them together.
I get all of that.
Yes. The fact that they were not able to get along, I'm not sure what happened there. He had no
I find it
indication, Pierre had no
fascinating
indication that he would be
you
like
reduce
that.
it to them not getting along. There's an implied covenant in contracts of good faith and fair dealing
Absolutely.
on both ends.
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program.
Once you were put on notice that these things were happening, I don't find that there was sufficient actions on your part that truly addressed the issue that this was escalating. I understand that there was an agreement, but these predictive behaviors that we observed Pierre to be engaging in really gave you notice to say, oh, okay, we're going to have to take him out. And because you didn't do that, you now have to deal with the consequences of Pierre's behavior as opposed to the Pattersons. So based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel is going to come down in favor of the plaintiff. You need to pay the Patterson family $8,940 in full. That is the order. Case closed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $8,940.
When you don't use good faith, that's what happens.
He got what he wanted, but unfortunately, I don't think that there was good faith on his part.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.